Hello everyone, and welcome to my presentation at the MIT A plus B Applied Energy Symposium. I am Arvind Srinivasan from Laboratory of Reliability and Risk Engineering of ETH Zurich, and I am here to present our research on flexibility optimization of multi-energy systems. Energy systems throughout the world are undergoing a transition. There is a trend towards decentralization of energy systems with more integration of renewables like rooftop PV and battery storage solutions, electrification of different energy sectors like the mobility and the heating sector, and digitalization of energy systems using smart meter data for real-time energy management. While these trends offer benefits, they also pose significant challenges to the distribution grid operators. These challenges arise out of unpredictability in renewable generation, consumers altering their consumption pattern, disruption of traditional flow of energy from a producer to a consumer. IEA's Net Zero by 2050 roadmap for the global energy sector report calls for high-scale investments in solar PV capacity and rapid electrification of different energy sectors. They also estimate the need for energy system flexibility is going to quadruple by 2050. This is where a multi-energy system is considered a promising concept. A multi-energy system has multiple energy vectors which can interact with one another with the help of technologies, thereby offering flexibility in their operations. They typically operate in a microgrid environment where they're connected to the main electricity grid, so they can import and export electricity, or they can also reserve capacity within it to be used by the main electricity grid for frequency control operations. However, it is important to look from an economic perspective whether it makes sense for such a multi-energy system to offer these flexibility benefits to the surrounding electricity grid. This is what is addressed in this work. A cost minimization model is developed which optimizes the multi-energy system operation, considering real market price signals for electricity and capacity exchange between the grid and the multi-energy system. The idea is to quantify how much flexibility can a multi-energy system provide to the surrounding electricity grid, considering these real market price signals, and also ensuring that it absorbs any uncertainty in load and generation that may arise within it. Second, how does these flexibility provisions offered depend on the market framework and technology mix? That is, the idea is to identify input parameters which influence the amount of flexibility that is being offered. The agenda of this presentation is pretty straightforward. I will start by describing the system considered in the work and the optimization model developed. Then I'll move on to the results where I'll address the two research questions individually, and then I'll finally share my conclusions. The multi-energy system considered in this work consists of 7 technologies. We have a PV renewable generator, 2 storage technologies, a battery storage system and a thermal storage system, and 4 dispatchable generators, a PEM electrolyzer, a combined heat and power plant, an electric heat pump, and a gas boiler. The multi-energy system meets the electricity and heat demand of this neighborhood, whose demand profiles are of the NEST demonstrator of EMPA, which is a research center in Zurich. The system is in connection with the main electricity and the gas grid, and the price signals for electricity are based on historical market price signals of the year 2019. A full year optimization is carried out considering hourly resolution. The problem is solved in 2 stages. In the first stage, a design optimization is carried out, which provides us with an optimal technology mix for the multi-energy system. This technology mix is fixed in the second stage, where the operations are optimized to obtain the final optimal schedule of different technologies, the import-export strategies, and the reserve provisions that are being offered. The objective of the optimization model is to minimize the total annual costs of the system. The objective function is broken down into different costs and revenues. We have the cost of importing electricity and gas from the respective grids. The price signals for electricity imports are of the historical prices for the year 2019 from the EPEC spot database. The price signals for gas are considered a constant. Our PCR is the revenue generated by reserving capacities for PCR provisions. The capacities reserved for PCR needs to be reserved for an entire day. CHP, PM electrolyzer, and battery storage can offer capacities for PCR provisions. Similarly, SCR minus and SCR plus are the secondary control reserves which are activated after the primary control to bring the frequency back to its nominal value. The capacities that are reserved for secondary control reserves need to be reserved for an entire week. The price signals for PCR and SCR are the winning bid prices which were sold by Swissgrid in the year 2019. C peak is the peak shaving cost, which is levied on the monthly peak capacity that is imported from the electricity grid. And finally, we have the equivalent annual investment and fixed operation costs of technologies. In the operational optimization problem, we do not have the last two cost terms. The model is subjected to technology level and system level constraints. At the technology level, since it's a mixed integer linear programming model, we have linear technology modeling. There are capacity limits, unit commitment, storage energy capacity limits, and ramping constraints for CHP and PM electrolyzer. At the system level, we ensure energy balance for electricity and heat, reserves balance for the different reserve services, and an emission limits is introduced so that the multi-energy system that is designed achieves 80% decarbonization with respect to a reference case of a no multi-energy system. The multi-energy system is also required to absorb any uncertainty in load and generation that may arise within it. For that, we have considered uncertainty in the day-ahead forecasting of electricity load and solar GHI. So a robust method is adopted wherein we obtain the error values for the forecasts to develop an uncertainty envelope around the forecasted load and solar GHI. These envelopes are used to obtain two worst cases or extreme cases of uncertainty. I call them uncertainty positive and uncertainty negative. Uncertainty positive is when the actual load is on the green curve and the actual solar output is on the red curve. So we need to increase production to keep the supply and demand in balance. So this is estimated for every hour of the year, and this represents the capacity that is reserved within the MES and is not in offer for flexibility to the surrounding grid. I'll start with the results of the first research question on quantifying flexibility provisions. Starting from the design, we find that the optimal design consists of a PV battery combination to meet the electricity demand and a heat pump thermal storage combination to meet our heating demand. We observe that there is no installation of gas-fired CHP and gas boilers, which means that the heating sector is also 100% electrified. Moving on to the costs, we find that the total annual cost of the system amounts to 28,617 Swiss francs. 67% of these total annual costs are due to investments in the four technologies that have been designed. 96% of which is invested in only PV and battery storage systems. From an operational perspective, we find that the MES is able to gain some revenues by reserving capacities for PCR power and SCR negative power. These revenues are able to decrease our variable operation costs by 27%. So to address our first research question, flexibility is quantified as the percentage of potential reserves that was actually offered by the MES averaged over a quarter of the year. So for January to March, the third pillar represents the potential reserves. So this potential reserves is obtained after adjusting the installed capacity to the capacity that is absorbed for uncertainty and technology dynamics. So it can be said that between January to March, the MES offers 40% flexibility to the surrounding electricity grid. And this result is found to be consistent throughout the year with flexibility ranging between 40 to 48%. We find that battery storage system plays a major role as it offers PCR services, while heat pump also contributes by offering SCR negative services. For heat pump, it is observed that there is a seasonality involved when it comes to offering flexibility. This plot shows the daily percentage flexibility offered for all the days of the year. And we find that the heat pump doesn't offer any flexibility during the summer months. And it is only during winter when it is offering these SCR negative services. On the other hand, battery is able to offer a consistent amount of flexibility throughout the year. In fact, there are days in winter when battery almost offers 100% flexibility. To address the second research question and thereby identify input parameters that influence the amount of flexibility that the MES has to offer, a global sensitivity analysis using Morris screening method is carried out. 20 input parameters were identified, including market and technology prices, and their expected distribution range was obtained through literature study. The results are visualized in this heat map. The metric used for sensitivity is S mu, which is the mean elementary effect scaled by the ratio of the standard deviation of the input parameter and the standard deviation of the output parameter variable. This scaling is done to visualize different types of output like costs and capacity together. So the red color in this map indicates a positive correlation, a blue color indicates a negative correlation, while white indicates that there is no influence of the input parameter on the output variable. The results show that only 6 out of the 20 input parameters considered had an influence on the amount of reserves that are being offered by the MES for the surrounding electricity grid. These parameters are the investment cost of storage technologies, both battery storage system and thermal storage, the remuneration rate for reserving capacities for the different services, the PCR rate, SCR negative and SCR positive rate, and the PCR factor of battery storage system, which is the fraction of the PCR capacity that the battery can immediately deliver. This brings me to the end of my results section, and I would like to share the main conclusions and findings from our project. Firstly, we find that the MES is able to offer and provide flexibility benefits to the surrounding electricity grid, considering these real market price signals. It offered around 40 to 48% flexibility to the surrounding grid throughout the year. We found BSS or battery storage system to play a key role in providing PCR services while heat pumps provide SCR negative services. Though in our case, it was also observed that heat pump flexibility is seasonal with no flexibility offered by heat pump during the summer months. From the cost perspective, the revenues from reserve provisions were able to decrease our variable operation costs by 27%, and the total annual costs are dominated by the investment costs in PV and battery systems. From the global sensitivity analysis results, we can confirm that the reserves offered are robust to most of the input parameters. Only 6 input parameters had an influence on the amount of reserves that were being offered. These include the investment costs of storage technologies, battery storage and thermal storage, the battery storage PCR factor, and the remuneration rates for reserving capacities for the different services. This brings me to the end of my presentation. I would like to thank you all for listening.